reason the dirt sticks to the paint and the power washer doesn't even get it off. And I don't want to go too crazy with the power washer because you will take the paint off of these things. They're not like a car. The paint's not on that well. So you got to use detergents, and I don't feel like using the power washer detergents because I don't know how strong they are with this stuff. So car soap is fine. I've used power wash detergents in the past on my other mowers, and I've taken the paint off. So I don't want to do that with these. I noticed that they don't have a whole lot of good paint jobs on them. So anyway, it's cleaned up nice. Dry it off, take it back, and pick up the new one. So there it is, it's back. Got the suspension seat. That's awesome. Little knob right there, the seat belt on the seat right there. Seat belts are useless, I never use them. Has an armrest. The only thing good about these are when you're backing up, you got something to rest your arm when you're turning. I gotta get used to this. It feels a little funky because it's older than the other one. The other one was new, so it already feels a little different. So I gotta get back to feeling this again. But I'm gonna go over and inspect it, probably pull the blades off and sharpen them because it's been a while. But yeah, that's finally got it back, and I got the suspension seat. So I'll do a review on that after I get used to it. You got adjustments here. You really gotta turn it up. It's kind of float. You gotta tighten it. It doesn't bounce as much. There you go. It doesn't bounce as much. Actually, I kind of like a little bit of a bounce. There you go. And they fixed this, was touching in the middle. So they fixed that. So now it's a little loose. I don't know what he did. He said he didn't do anything, but I think he did touch it. I just got to get used to this. Now you can actually lift these up higher. You can take it out, which I might do that. I might bring the sticks up higher. It's been sitting for a while, so the socks are a little loose, a little tight. Let's see how that works. That's cool. And what's the big difference between this one and the MZT is it has a seat lock, which you have to pull this, get it open. There you go. Let me show you this. I'm trying not to move the camera as much, but let me show you this. So this is different. This is actually the platform that it sits on, which is different than the MZT. This actually has a locking mechanism which comes down to here. Where I was saying the MZT doesn't really need a suspension seat because it doesn't have this locking mechanism, which allows the springs to float freely, and you get bigger springs. But here, you really don't get that much of a spring. I think they had just suspected that being at this level, you were going to order it with the suspension seat anyway, so they really didn't think of it, my opinion. But if that's the case, it should just come standard with the seat. I mean, it really wouldn't make that much of a difference. Actually, it would. I think they're asking $1,000 for these seats. There you go. So I'm not really sure how it works, but so here you can watch this when it comes down. Oh, you got to move this pin up. Of course, I can't do it with one hand. So, but anyway, you move this pin up, slides it up, and it goes through this blocks right there. You move that forward, come out, see? I know they have this thing sitting outside, so it's got a little bit of rain on it, but I'm gonna get back into it. Gotta adjust this stuff to just make sure it's working on it. But you can see the tires, how much smaller they are compared to the one that I had on the MZT. So, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't think you can put the big tires on here. It might rub on this part of the frame. There's always a reason. Just not looking at that. And it might even hit that front wheel. Might have been the reason why, because that deck is massive. That's a way bigger deck. I mean, you can see how much bigger the deck is, the area of coverage of cut pattern. So it's not just so much that the deck is wider, it's deeper. It's I don't know what you call it this way, but it's width. So it's deeper in length and size as well. So it's not just so much that it's bigger. I mean, it's only 2 inches bigger, but going that away from front to back, it's also deeper. So it's a bigger cutting surface, and why you have a bigger horsepower engine. Because this is a full-out commercial. So, and you have a much more beefed-up design on this. Why is that a hole missing? I hope something didn't fling off. I gotta look back on that picture. That doesn't look like something should be there. But this is a double versus a single, which I was getting at. But this actually bent here and allowed this to come out. So I'm gonna take something and push this back in. All this is the same design, same little foot path. I might drop my scalp wheels down lower, and you have a bigger housing to hold the scalp wheels. So that way, what I was noticing with the other one, because it's a floating deck, if the ground hits something, the wheel will lift the deck up. A little bit of annoying, but it's a better cut that way. So there you go. Like I said, the pan where you put your foot on this one is smaller, but you get this footrest, which you don't get on the MZT. The MZT footrest is more of a just there. It's not really where you actually put your foot. It's just like part of the design. This is actually a footrest, and in my opinion, it could even be bigger. So some other manufacturers have actually made that all one unit as a footrest, because it's a lot more comfortable having your foot out, because you can push yourself back into the seat when you're driving, take some stress off your back, especially when you're leaning forward. You can push yourself back. So there you go. Brand new seat on there. See how this works out. I really like the Husqvarna seats. They're really nice. They're really nice design, just from looking at them, and comfort-wise, they got a lot of comfort to them. So they did a good job, and the leather is strong. The stitching on it is really well. I've seen some other brands that have some really good seats, but the stitching isn't all that well. The stitching is done really well on these things. It's called a French stitch, and they run it over top like that. I used to sell cars. So there you go. I got to replace the air filter on this thing and get it running. Just got to get used to it. Get used to back riding this again, because using that other mower, which was brand new, it's going to be a little bit different feel. So we're going to get back to it. I'm going to look it out. I do got to clean this deck out. I saw some rust under there, and the blades. I mean, they were sharpened when I dropped it off, but I did a lot of heavy grass when I dropped it off, so I'm going to re-clean all that. Probably clean the whole thing up. So, thank you. Just a quick recap. Even the side bolsters are bigger. Look at how big the side bolsters are. Look at that. Even this is bigger right here, where you hold your butt in. This is my old one. And here's your side bolsters. I mean, they're still there. You still got that, but I mean, that's a different design. That's new. I like that. So there you go. There's another difference right there.